How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. This is Mango, and today we are talking Matrix 1. Mango, you've become a little bit of an expert in this content, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been doing so many takeovers and so many runs in Matrix these days that I feel like I've spent most of my time playing the game doing Matrix instead of Arena, which is the content I upload the most. But it's been fun, all the new ideas people have gotten from the Chinese community and overall the community. It has been really helpful, and we're gonna test it now.
Yeah, so you've done excellent work. You're working with like the different communities, your own community. You've got a great Discord people should check out. And you've kind of together made a discovery that in many ways our conventional best way of gearing isn't necessarily the best for Matrix, at least for part of it. So what we're gonna do today is use my account here as like a little guinea pig, right? And we're gonna do a little re-gear because the focus of this video is really gonna be gearing, showing how some changes can really elevate your score. So you touched on the fact that you've been spending a lot of time in Matrix and you've made it a priority. I don't like Matrix. I don't hate it. It's not like it used to be when it was like a defective content. It's just it's not my favorite. At the end of every week, I procrastinate all week and then I'm like, oh shoot, I still have to do Matrix. So I'm very comfortable and putting my pride aside and saying, you're the expert. Mango, you have got some amazing Matrix videos people can go check out. This was the one that caught my eye that I watched. And you're basically saying we're leaning too heavily into attack, where we're doing too much attack bonus. And that's what we're gonna put to the test today. So if it's cool with you, if it's cool with you guys, I think let's really just focus on bulwark, because you were saying that's where you see the more significant benefit from moving away from attack, right?
Exactly. It is also easier to notice the difference. This has been tested by the Chinese community, by Ezareth, and one Chinese player who actually got 140k, the first guy who actually got 140k, and it is really easier to notice because we also have Beelzebub. The thing with Beelzebub is his inspiration is so big that you notice the difference of doing reduced damage while you are not on the Pact of Silence, and then once you enable his ultimate, all the champs who are using crit damage main stats will in fact do way more damage while keeping the stacks way lower.
So you were gonna lean very heavily into him to just get the damage when we need it and make sure we don't get too high on the stacks too early, right?
Yeah, basically.
Easing off the attack and letting him bring our attack to the level we need is kind of the solution you and the Chinese community and everyone in your community have settled on?
Yeah, exactly. There are some champs where we can run triple crit damage, or some champs where we can also run triple attack. However, champs like Valara, or even, I would say Demi is a good example. On Demi, you can just run triple crit damage, just because she also has some penetration on her kit. On Magda, for example, I tend to run triple attack because we also have to play around the gear that we have on our own accounts. We have to consider that when we run crit damage main stats, attack bonus becomes a substat. So maybe having 5% extra attack actually plays a huge difference. So we always need to really know our gear and our account overall.
So we're gonna show you some builds. We're gonna do some re-gearing. We're gonna go through my bulwark team, but that's like a huge tip for you guys right out of the gate. Just because we're gonna be saying lean heavier into crit damage in this video doesn't mean you should do that at any cost and sacrifice, you know, better gear just for crit damage main stat if the subsets stink, you know? So like if you only have enough good crit damage main stat pieces that can elevate your team, that you can put it on a couple characters, that's what you should be doing. Now, let's hop into it. The last thing, and I'm prepared for this, I've unsubscribed to your channel just so I can show people that they should subscribe. Click right here and turn on, oh my God, there you go, the all notifications bell. My thing's being laggy as heck, but yeah, guys, it's the biggest thing you can do. You can do it for my channel if you want to, but subscribing and then hitting that bell is huge. Make sure you do that. Look how close, our friend Mango is, guys. Look at that, almost 3,500 subs. That's crazy.
We're slowly getting there.
Yeah, this video is gonna be amazing, and all his videos here about Matrix are amazing. So if you appreciate that, at least 30 of you can hit that button. Okay, let's get into it. We are not gonna fully gear everyone, guys, because then this video would be an hour and a half long. So we are gonna do that, but we'll do like a fast forward off camera version. But I figure, don't you think, Mango, we should start with a couple key units that we can do. Maybe let's pick 2 DPS. And just to set a baseline, just to give our viewers a reference, you can look here. This is from a while ago. How long ago was this? This was January 25th. This was about 6 weeks ago. We're gonna run the same comp. I have gotten the score to about 80, 81K. We're hoping to beat that, but this is the old best, so we can kind of set it there. I think we've got a good direction to go. So where would you like to begin?
I think the champs we have to start playing around are Valara and maybe even Ingrid, but honestly you can run Ingrid in triple attack, but Valara would be the first I would actually change and try to get one crit damage main. Even if we end up running Soulbound Arcana instead of Cataclysm, that will be perfect. But she benefits a lot from having one crit damage main, in my experience, to be fair.
Absolutely. Now, just to tell everybody watching that is unfamiliar with this, for some of these characters, are you trying to get multiple crit damage main stats, or are you just looking for that one extra swap? So instead of going triple attack bonus, you're doing 2 and 1, or sometimes you're doing 1 and 2, 1 attack and 2 crit damage?
And most of the time, I try to run one piece on everyone. However, for example, if I'm able to get really high substats on attack on Valara, I can allow her to be used in double crit damage, basically because her base attack is so high that even just with substats, she will scale a lot. But for most of the units, I would say running one crit damage only would be ideal. As I've said, the exception is Demi because she has penetration on her kit, but we're not going to be using her on this run, so no.
I don't even have her.
But Demi, yeah, exactly. But Demi, you can actually run in 2 or triple crit damage main stats.
So let's get into it. You guys can see this is the build we had. So it's a great build for a lot of content, right? 504 attack speed just through substats, very nice. Good crit damage, some of my better gear, but you're kind of saying this level of attack might be overkill, and why not pump the crit damage a little higher?
Yeah, it might be increasing the stacks a little bit too much during the out of the pack of silence, to be fair.
Yeah. Actually, do you want to take one quick moment to explain how the stack increase works and how this is going to control it?
So Matrix is a bit complex, but the base mechanic is the boss has some stacks that actually increase as you kill enemies, and there is one ability called the Pact of Silence that actually reduces all the stacks that we have been getting through the fight. So the more damage you do on that phase, the more the stacks are gonna drop. By doing this, we just try to get as few stacks as possible while we are not on that phase, and then try to reduce those stacks back to 0 or
as low as we can get it. Yeah, so basically, he's got these energy level stacks that he's gaining, which are making him more and more powerful, right? And if we're killing too many monsters outside of the Pact of Silence, that's the period where we can deal more damage, and most importantly, like you said, knock those stacks back down. Then he's going to get too strong too fast, and he's going to get too tanky, so we're going to deal less damage. And then, especially when you're getting to really high levels, maybe he's just going to wipe your team towards the end of the fight. So the goal here is to maximize as much damage as possible in the Pact of Silence, which, as you said, is when we're using Beelzebub, so we're getting a ton of extra attack anyway, and minimize the damage to some extent outside of it. And one way we can do that is by taking our foot off the gas in terms of putting attack on our builds. So that's kind of the crux of what we're looking to do here. So with Valara, you think Cataclysm is going to be her best in slot here, right?
I mean, honestly, for this, since we don't really need the extra ultimate because we're just going to be ulting once, you can either run Cataclysm or Arcana. I'm running mine in Arcana at the moment because I don't have crit damage main stats from Cataclysm, but both sets will be perfectly fine.
Yeah, my Soulbound Arcana is probably a lot better, but you tell me where you want to look first.
Let's go with Arcana because most people will have more crit damage main stats.
Let's see which of my pieces have the flat attack right with the attack bonus, and we'll look as high as possible. So that one's kind of nice.
Don't have, yeah, that's one pretty good. And honestly, if they don't have flat attack and you get some HP, it's also fine.
Yeah.
The main thing is getting the attack bonus really high because it will make a difference, in fact. But yeah, for example, that piece is really good.
Yeah, this piece is looking pretty good. Do you want to try to run 2, or should we stick with a 2 attack bonus, 1 crit damage?
Let's go with 1 because we can that way check the increase with just running 1 crit damage main stat.
Great.
Also,
I will hunt for the flat attack again. Here's a nice one.
Exactly.
This is the base attribute.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that variant because it allows your team to just run lower HP, because at the end of the day, when you get 5% extra HP, it allows your champ to have maybe 1,000, 2,000 less overall HP, so they are way easier to build.
Yeah, you guys, you can do the math, right? 16,500 base HP, 5% of that's over 800 more HP, which is definitely not nothing, especially when it's scaling off of the base. Pretty great there. Let's throw that on, and let's take one more peek. We got this one on Ardia. This one's off. This probably was on her before. Pretty well rounded. I do see I'm missing a couple dark fells, so we'll speed through this really fast. Maybe we'll fast forward in the editing, but let's toss these on. All right, we'll take that.
I swear it always low roll.
Okay, sweet. And then for the side here, are we trying to like, so typically, let me tell you, if I'm looking for a quad on my account or anyone's account, I'm making the attack bonus the priority stat. And viewers, if you don't know, whatever you have as the #1 stat, it's gonna be in that order. So this is showing right now all my weapons that have these 4 substats in order from highest attack to lowest attack. So here, this one on Magda compared to this one on Ingrid, right? 21%. Would you here suggest maybe we switch it up and we go like this and have crit damage as the #1 priority?
Honestly, it doesn't really make a difference because if we want to actually try and test multiple times, we can just play around the gear, but I tend to go with attack bonus, crit damage, and then crit rate or attack speed because it will most of the time be the best weapon on the account, so the difference won't be huge on the left side.
Okay, gotcha. So let's just find the most well-rounded piece. I mean, this one's pretty juicy. Yeah, let's snag this piece from Ezareth. Yeah, increases the attack.
Oh, yeah,
we'll take that
that's
for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah. Here I got 3 quads. This one's very nice. I mean, it's gonna be this one, right? So yeah, one other thing to point out, guys. This is more for people when you get closer to like the deeper into the late game, end game. You can also hunt for bigger crit rate rolls, and then you would be able to lean off here and skip the crit rate, and you could pick up some flat attack instead, right? You go like attack bonus, flat attack, crit damage, attack speed. Actually, if we just want to quickly, should we show people what that would look like? Because we're pretty close. All right, we couldn't find a great piece for it, but here you go. This is gonna be the new build, and you can see we've skyrocketed in the crit damage department, picking up, what is that? Another 42 or so % crit damage. Attack is still completely respectable, right? At 24K, because we're hunting those big subsets, and then everything else is looking fine. Slightly slower, but all in all, we're thinking this might be a little improvement, right?
Yeah, not a huge deal. Honestly, we're only losing like some speed, but good enough.
And then the 43% or 42% crit damage is something. Who would you like to do next?
So I would go with Ingrid. However, with Ingrid, I run mine in triple attack, but some people have been running her with speed main stats. It all depends a bit because the thing is, when Ezareth or even Rosalia do the big hits, maybe you get Ingrid laser in sync with them, so you are losing some DPS on those units. So basically, in Ingrid, you can run her with triple attack, double attack 1 speed, or even double attack and 1 crit damage. It all depends a bit on the pieces you have on the account.
All right, well, let's take a look. What do you want to do, Infernal Roar, or what set do you want to look at?
I use mine in Infernal Roar because I don't have good exclusive pieces for her, so it works pretty fine. Because the thing is, I run Magda in Cataclysm, so by running my Ingrid in Infernal Roar, I'm able to get better pieces on Magda.
Yeah, this is one of my better exclusive pieces. I do have it on Neza, but we can throw it on Ingrid for the video if you want. You want to do that?
We can.
All right,
Yeah,
sure.
we can.
Now I'm assuming you're gonna want to see the attack speed just to see our options.
We might need a little bit of HP. Honestly, we're running triple healer, so it's not like such a big deal. But overall, I like to run my DPS units at around 28 to 30k HP if I'm running the team with only Elowen as a healer.
And we are doing, because guys, like we said, just set that baseline for growth. We're still gonna run it. Like I said, the meta's moved in a couple ways, right? So we're still gonna stick with the old healer strat for this. If you want an updated, you can look next week. We'll dial it in even tighter. You like this piece for crit damage, or you just want to go triple attack?
We can check if we have good triple attack pieces, and if we do, we can just go with triple attack. Both will work really, really well, honestly.
One thing to point out, right, because crit damage is particularly strong for this, Wicked Vengeance is definitely going to be the winning for the left side, right?
Yep.
Winning set.
Yep.
For anyone wondering about that. We like this piece, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's insane. Like, it's also really high on crit damage.
Maybe we go for that HP like you were saying and see if there's something a little more exciting, right? Maybe this?
That's really high on crit damage, and that's good.
Snag this from Magda. And then do you think we need to hunt for a little more HP?
We're running Nerissa, if I remember correctly, right? I think with Nerissa, we should be fine.
Okay.
I think we are at around 25k at the moment.
Okay, so here we go. Look how much crit damage we actually picked up just through the substats, looking for those big rolls. So still tanky-ish, right? Very fast. 366 on the crit damage.
366.
That's looking pretty good for Ingrid. Still no exclusive artifacts. Apparently that's just a myth. What do you want to do next, Magda?
Yeah, let's go Magda, because with Magda, we can actually play around with the sets. Ideally, we want to run her with the cultist exclusive because it does make a difference. So If you have it on Hell's Lament, you can run it on Hell's Lament. If not, on Cataclysm, both are really, really good. And as before, if you have it as a crit damage main stat, it will work just as good.
Okay.
That one, for example, pretty solid on her.
And also, guys, this will be the last one we do all together. Then I think we'll probably just show the before and after for every build. So don't worry, the video's not going to be 10 years long. All right, let's start with that. Let's look to see if we got other Hell's Lament options. I don't think we really do. So for crit damage means that. So I think we have to run that.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah,
sorry,
now we
excuse
just
me. No,
run.
I was still sorting by her. Give me one sec. Got a couple options here, actually. That one's actually very good looking.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a good attack bonus ring. It's probably actually worth looking at now. It's cultist. No, we don't. So I think our hands are kind of tied. We're not going to use that piece.
Yes. So we're gonna run attack on the
Yeah,
other
we're going to
ones.
run attack. So let's get that here. See what we got. Odd looking piece here. Kind of low crit
Yes.
damage.
Yeah, but it's fine.
We can also take this off and peek. Very nice crit damage
Oh,
there. Actually, want to do this and we can show people what the crit rate build looks
Yeah.
like? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
going to get us where we need to be. Sweet. Here, we're going to have to probably do a similar thing. Actually, I'm going to go like this. Check the priority. But this piece for Mina, 21.5. Take that priority off. Yeah, okay, let's drop this some from Mina. Hopefully, I got one. I think I've got a piece in mind. This one. There you go. So that brings us to 98%
That's good
crit.
enough.
She's a cultist, so with the cultist collection bonus, she's at 101%, so she's tapped. And now I do have one juicy and eye piece with her name on it. Boom. Now we're
There
cooking
we
with
go.
gas, right? So there you go, guys. That is a much better looking Magda. Thank you for the help there, Mango.
Exactly.
I do think this needs a little touch up, though. What do you think of this artifact for her? She's getting tons of kills. Do you think this is her best design?
I use this because I honestly don't fire AMR at all. But
I've got
Seen
everything.
people use it. Yeah, I've seen people use either this one or the new one that we
Oh,
got.
I haven't
don't
built that
remember
up
the
yet.
name
Yeah,
because-
the scale or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I haven't done any forging, so. All right, it's going to be this. Good enough. This is a nice looking build now because we were able to ditch crit on one piece. You can see she's nice and fast. Crit capped, coming up towards 400% crit damage with 390.5%. And the attack is still, for a magic fighter, pretty high. Pretty
Yep,
high.
pretty high, yeah.
All right, guys, this is going to be like super speed mode, so you'll just see little clips. We're going to show you the before, show you the after, and then we're going to get fighting. So let's do it. Who's next?
So I would go with Ezareth, I would say. I run him in Cataclysm because I have the exclusive. And I run triple attack.
Great. I definitely have the exclusive. So, guys, this is the build before.
Yeah.
You can see crit capped, a little bit of tankiness, not much. Good crit damage, nothing special. Let's cut, and we'll see what we end up with. Here's the build we settled on with Ezareth. Unfortunately, he's 1% under crit cap because this is cultist bonus brings him to 99%. We got some good tankiness on him because we're running the old strat where he's going to be doing that, and we've got Carnelian. Nowadays, a lot of people are just going balls to the wall on the damage for Ezareth, right? And then you run Wukong. That's pretty popular.
Yeah, but you would need to be running Wukong with just one healer, which is a bit harder on the gear.
Yeah, which is coming, guys, but not in this video. But you can see we got the cultist exclusive. We also got this bangle with the cultist variant effect, so that's a nice pairing. We got that lucky recast we included where we got the tankiness, no crit rate, and then we got more HP. Then we got a little defense there. He should be pretty dang good.
Yeah.
For the artifact, do you like the Frigid Flame, or should we try to get another Eye of Sin on him?
I honestly like Frigid Flame because that way, since he's getting damage the whole fight, while he's on the Pact of Silence, he gets the increased damage, so it helps him get the damage just when we need it. Honestly, he will do similar damage with Frigid Flame or Eye of Sin,
Yeah.
but I run mine in Frigid Flame.
I mean, that is like a pretty big brain thing, right? It's because damage is going to be a little less because the Frigid Flame when we don't want it to be high, and then it's going to be more because the Frigid Flame when we do want it high. So it's like a really nice pairing. So that is going to be the Ezareth. On to the next. Who you want to do? Viss? Beatrix?
Yeah, I think Venice is cool.
We'll do Viss. Here is the before, guys. We did steal a piece from Ezareth, but we were in, there you go, classic quad with a little tankiness. You know the
Yeah.
drill.
Very
Let's
good.
get to the regear. All right, so this is gonna be our Viss build. We actually got a pretty fun build going. She ended up getting some of the best gear on my account. This is one of my best pieces. This is one of my other best pieces. She's looking good. Got this guy right here. We picked up a lot of crit rates, so we ditched it over here. We went for a little extra tankiness, so she's a little bit tankier, so she doesn't die. And then we got a nice quad there. She's plenty crit capped. At 26-3, I think it's going to be just enough, right, with our multiple healers?
It will be enough, yeah. With Nerissa just getting that AoE damage reduction, it will be more than enough.
I will say in very me fashion, I do have enough copies to make her A5, but that's coming at a later date. Sorry. I'm going to run her in the Soulbound, the Tear of Twilight. On to the next one. Let's do Beatrix now. Let me show people before. She lost her Cultist ring. That went to Ezareth, but you can see that was an attack bonus ring, and then she's in some nice attack bonus gear here. We're going to play around with this for a second. She was in Warlord, but we might actually have to get some Wicked Vengeance there because we really want to min-max it.
Yeah, exactly. We will try to run Cultist, and if we run Wicked Vengeance on the left side, and it will be perfect.
Perfect. 1 second. All right, that one was actually kind of fast for us, Mango. We got this one done pretty fast. We got a couple double dips on the cultist effects, right? We got this kind of cultist variant, then we got the cultist here. It was a little hard to get the HP going, but we did get her, over that 26 we've been shooting for. Good looking exclusive there, which works out great for her, obviously. This great hot sit piece I have, and then, pretty standard on the left. The artifact, you got the Twilight. We're kind of at the home stretch here. Oh, actually, one thing I got to point out, sorry. We didn't have any more crit damage cultist pieces, so that had to go. But I will say, that's not saying, for her, we neglected the Mango strategy for gearing. We actually had better options for her because we'd freed up some Cataclysm pieces from using crit damage elsewhere, right? So that's something to think about.
Exactly. We also have to take into consideration that her attack is a bit lower, so it is totally fine if we run her in triple attack. Honestly, I'm not using her on my team at the moment, so I haven't been able to just play around and test multiple combinations, but if they have lower attack, you can just run them in triple attack. It won't be a huge deal breaker.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's kind of about done for our DPS. Let's look. Yeah, I think we're set on DPS, so we're just going to do this all in one go, guys. We'll just do a little touch-up on our supports and stuff, and then we'll check back in and do the run. Okay, we just finished gearing out Beelzebub. We did want to share something, even though I said we were going to hop right to the end after the supports and stuff. We just cranked his attack super high. Because we're running so many healers, we don't really need him as a healer, so we're running him pretty slow just to get that attack as high as possible. However, do you want to share what you were saying if people want to run less healers?
Yeah, if we are running the team with Elowen as a healer and then on Vulcan as the tank, the only healer would be Elowen. In that case, we do need him a little bit faster because he would be the one healing all the cultist units and we end up running like Magda, Ezareth, Viss, we run so many cultist units that he benefits a lot from speed. This time we're running triple healer, so there is just no need. Everyone will survive. Yes, pretty good.
So he is able to do a pretty solid job healing cultist allies, right? But we don't need him to be a healer. We just want that inspiration as high as possible because we want to lean into that inspiration for the Pact of Silence when it matters most, and we want all the damage. So we want his attack super high. And now we will jump to the end. All right, folks, I got the Mango seal of approval already on the builds we had for these guys. I'm just going to show you super fast. So if you're going to still run the old Cornelian strat, frankly, if you have Sun Wukong, I wouldn't. But we're going to do that for consistency's sake. As fast as you can get her, rage regen, and make sure she's not super brittle, right? A little bit of tankiness. This is fine. I will say you made a great point about Elowen because I have a lot of HP on her. And you're like, we should make sure she doesn't have more HP than Ezareth. And it's closer than it needed to be, but 36.2, Ezareth is pretty high at 40, so that's fine. Because we need to make sure Ezareth is getting targeted, right, with those focus strikes. And finally, Nerissa, you guys get it. I will say, I'm running a lot of Invig. I do think, I'll tell you, Mango, when I really refine this in a week or two, I can definitely move them all to Wings of Grace now, but I want to keep it kind of close to what it was.
Yeah, Wings of Grace will be better, but it's just not like a huge improvement overall.
Yeah. Well, and the improvement we're trying to highlight in this video is the improvement for your DPS gearing. And if we start using my new Wings of Grace, I think it's going to kind of change it, because then there's going to be an extra benefit from the new Wings of Grace gear. So without further ado, we've done a lot of gearing. I've done a lot of yapping. You've shared a lot of knowledge bombs. Are you ready for some actual content? Should we do a run?
Let's go. Let's see how the score actually improves.
Let's see it. Let's get into it, guys. We took a brief second because we had to gear the Spellbane team, even though we're not featuring that. Because if you didn't know, once you save your run, you're saving all 20 heroes gear, which is very annoying, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is. And it is really hard to notice.
Let's get into it. There's a lot of information you guys are about to get hit with. I'm going to start with the hottest tip you gave us so far, which is pretty exciting. Do you want to talk about the Ingrid placement we're about to do?
Yeah, we're going to be placing Ingrid on one of the corners. just so that she's able to actually hit the laser on the enemies right on her back. That way you get more damage out of her.
Yeah, so I didn't know this until you, but something with Ingrid, she's able to hit people near her on this stage. So we're using her for the right side, but we're putting her on the left, and we're going to get kind of a double dip on damage. So if you guys have been looking at the leaderboards and you're shocked that Ingrid's doing so much damage, first off, you shouldn't be. She's freaking Ingrid. But I get it if you've been using your Ingrid like a normal way. So we're going to do it like this. Now we've got 2 units that are wearing Wings of Grace. Those are going to be Elwyn and Beelzebub. And then we've got 2 units wearing Invig. Those are going to be Carnelian and Nerissa. So we want Ingrid in some Wings of Grace. So we're going to place Beelzebub here pointed in. We're also going to take a quick moment to switch Ingrid to single target mode. Do you want to explain why we're doing that?
We're doing that switch so that when she goes into the overload mode, if you have her A3, in those moments where she goes into that crazy mode when she's doing the laser once every 2 hits, they will be during the Pact of Silence, so our timings will actually be better. Of course, this will depend on the speed, but with the typical numbers 450, 500 speed, it will work like a charm.
Yeah, and we're going to do that at 727, right? That's when we're going to switch her back over?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so next up we're going to place Magda, and she's going to get the other Wings of Grace buff from Elwyn. So we're going to put Elwyn right here in the middle. Now we're going to place Valara, who's going to go right here. So now you can see Magda is going to be giving a nice buff to Valara, Ingrid, and then in a moment, Beatrix. That's from Magda's passive. We're at 31, by the way. We're keeping an eye on that, right, Mango, for the 27?
Yeah, we are.
Got Nerissa there, so she's going to be buffing Valara. Now, finally, we got Ezareth is going to receive our final Invig or Wings of Grace buff. This is Invig from Carnelian. I'm going to point her to the right to make sure she stays focused on Ezareth. And now, actually, just to be safe, I'm going to wait till 27 here. And we're going to switch Ingrid. I might have actually been slightly late. Should we restart?
No, it's fine. Don't worry too much because at the end of the day, it will depend a bit on the speed.
Sure. All right. Let's do it. We're going to get Beatrix right here and then Belis right here, and we are off to the races. Remember, guys, if you're going to use Ezareth, remember always to switch him. He needs to be in purple mode for when those big hits come. Now, do you want to talk about the timing for when we're triggering our ultimates and stuff like that? We were just discussing it.
Yeah, so basically, we have to wait because for the first few phases, we don't really need to ult. We're gonna be ulting with Magda slightly earlier when the second AoE from the boss is actually hitting our units. Then we will be cleansing, ideally with Halloween or with Nerissa. And then once the boss does the second single target hit, this time the single target, not the AoE one, we will be popping Beelzebub and pretty much all the ultimates except Ezareth. On Ezareth, we will be waiting until we are almost on the Pact of Silence.
So a great way to do this, guys, is to make use of the individual autocasts. You can go to settings and do that. Just go to your settings. You'll be able to see it right there. So we want to control who we're toggling and who we are not. So obviously we don't need to do Ingrid. She's going to stay in AoE for the whole fight. I want to do my Elwyn and my Carnelian myself. Nerissa we're not going to use, so we can turn that off. Then we need to do that manual timing for Magda. So she's going to go off, and we're going to do the manual timing for Ezareth and for Beelzebub over here. But you can see these three, exactly. we can do them all together, just like Mango was saying. So correct me if I'm wrong. After that second AoE hit, that's when we're going to time out the Magda because her ult's a little longer. And then the second single target hit. So that the AoE hit, by the way, is the decay overload, I think it's called, or decay overflow.
Exactly.
And then the single target's the focus.
I don't remember the names.
I think it's that. And then the focus strike is the single target. The focus strike, we're going to do Beelzebub, and then with just a little delay, right after that, we're going to click the auto ults, and then these 3 DPS are going to go at the same time. Yep, these 3 ladies.
Like 1 or 2 seconds later, it will be enough.
That's kind of going to be the end of my talking, unless I'm asking you questions. But you're going to be the commentator. I want to focus so we don't have to do this multiple times, all right?
Perfect. Okay. So let's see. Okay, this is the first single target hit. Here we can just... It will go into Ezareth, so we don't really have to worry too much. Okay, perfect.
Now we got the second AoE.
Whenever it lands, the second AoE, you can just pop Magda right there, and you can cleanse it. In this case, we can use Nerissa or Elohim, whoever.
One cool
Now,
thing,
the
guys, if you
second
bring
yeah.
both of them, which isn't the meta anymore, but if you do have both of them, towards the end you can be cleansing everything because you got 2 cleansers.
Yeah, it's perfect. You can also run your team with lower HP just because of that. So now, once the single target hits Ezareth, so right now, we're gonna be using Beelzebub. And then, like 1 second later, we can just use everyone else except Ezareth.
And that's where this comes into play, that we have him toggled off.
Exactly.
So where do you
And
like to
now
time
here, what I
Ezareth?
like to do is we can see the loading bar right at the top. When it's reaching the word pact, right at the end, I hit Ezareth. That way, he will do the animation and hit the damage during the pact of silence itself.
It's like when it
So
hits
we
the
can just
T,
wait.
what do you say?
Yeah, exactly. Right there, good enough.
We'll get
And
it.
it will always do 2 big hits during the pact of silence. There we go, second one, perfect.
There you go. That's a pretty good number for my account, about 14k through the Pact of Silence. And if we look at the stacks, not that high, right? 39, pretty manageable.
No, pretty good. So now you just gotta change Ezareth back to the blue mode, the tanky mode, just so that he doesn't keep doing damage to all the enemies for the whole fight.
Yeah, you really want to control that. Like, you're not doing too much damage when you don't want to be, and you're doing a ton of damage when you gotta be. So I say let's do like 2 more cycles of this, then we'll probably just throw this on 2x till there's, what, 2 minutes left in the battle, and then we'll wrap it up?
Yep, perfect.
All right, sweet. Let's see, let's get all these timings right.
It's
Let's keep it on 1x.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do when you're running 2 healers because you don't really have to worry too much about your units dying. Okay, amazing. So now, once the second AoE hit is about to come, we can just pop Magda and then cleanse it again with whoever we want.
I went a little aggressive with the rest of there, because why not? Here's that focus strike. Let's get her with Carnelian.
There we go.
By the way, the timing I like, I don't
Now-
know if you do the same, when it's like in the middle of the word focused, that's when I do the Carnelian trigger, for anyone still using
I
Carnelian.
do the same.
You do the same? Yeah, it's kind of classic. You want to do Beelzebub right now?
Beelzebub, and then 1 second later, we will pop Beatrix, Viss, and Valara. And now, Ezareth right there. So you don't really have to be too precise with Ezareth because he only has time to do the big hit twice per Pact of Silence. So it's cool if you are like half a second later. You guys shouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah. You just don't want to be like super early or super late, because like you're not going to be able to get 3 hits
Exactly.
anyway. So you just want to make sure you don't get 1 hit. Really quick, would you toggle him back already, like right away?
I actually do. I know some people tried and wait until he does 3 hits, but that last hit will actually increase your stacks way more. So I personally just do 2 hits and then change him back.
Easy enough.
So right there, yeah.
That's also nice, because then, sometimes the old strategy, I would never do that. I would do all 5 hits and then switch him, which in hindsight was foolish. But also,
Yeah.
then sometimes you forget to switch him to purple mode, and then the hit comes in and he dies, and you're like, why didn't he tank it? And it's because you're an idiot, you know?
And by doing this, it also helps when you are not running so many summoners, because when you're not running Viss or you're not using Beatrix, he struggles a bit getting those stacks back. So you really need to be, you really need to make sure you're using them when you need it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, because a lot nowadays, not even everyone's using Ezareth nowadays, but if you are, Viss has become a lot less essential. So that's a great point.
Yeah, you pretty much just run Ezareth with no summoners. You run him alone, and some people, including myself, are just using Demi as a lord because we don't really have a single summoner to use with Ezareth.
Yeah, so that's all the more reason. Let's get rid of Magda here. Boom, into Ellen, boom. Once it all off, now we're gonna get ready to Beelzebub, well, Carnelian, then Beelzebub, then the auto button. A lot of things to think about. There we go with Carnelian.
Really, really hard.
Get that packed timing.
Valara decided to not ult right
Oh,
there.
that's terrible. Well, hopefully that doesn't throw the whole thing off. We'll power through. Yeah, I think I hit the auto off too quickly.
Her ultimate animation is just so long. It is really hard.
Yeah, I was a little over eager there. But already up to 40K. We got 4.5 minutes left. We're hoping to get at least like an 82, 83, maybe a bit higher. So we're going to pick it back up at about 2 minutes. We'll throw it on 2x right now. We'll see you guys in just a minute. So guys, you are going to rejoin us here. This actually is a second run. We're doing this second time because Ezareth needed a little more HP, and then we decided to put a little rage regen, as we mentioned, onto Magda. But everything else is the same. Actually, you want to share that tip about the auto with the save gear, the update gear?
In Matrix, this is the only content where this actually happens. If you save up the whole auto, the whole 7 minutes, you can then just move around the pieces, change the gear, and it will take effect into that auto. So the good thing and the benefit from this is you can just check if a piece is actually an upgrade or if it downgrades the whole damage of the team just by changing the piece and running the same auto. No need to set it up again, just the same auto.
Yeah, it's a really, really good tip because I didn't even know this. Because every other piece of content in this game that has an auto that is bringing in units, like remembering the units, now it's set up that it remembers all the gear. So you could literally go in and delete all that gear from your account in Abyss, but if you don't resave the auto, it's still going to use that because it's like a full snapshot replay forever until you resave it. This is different. So the only thing that would changed was that Ezareth build and that Magda build running again. You can see the damage is very high. Ingrid is broken with this little placement. That's a crazy takeaway. Let's get back into it. This should be right as we get into this Pact of Silence. Everyone else is already going. Let's get that Ezareth timing. There we go. And yeah, let's keep this boy alive. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with Nerissa. Let's see. Hoping to be right about 70K. Like it's going to be more like 68, 69. Switch Ezareth back.
Yeah, we're keeping a stacks a little bit lower, which is always nice.
Yeah.
And that extra range on Magda allows her to just ult slightly faster at these final minutes.
Yeah, she doesn't get knocked back as aggressively. She doesn't fall out of sync in the same way. Now let's try to get a little cleanse here with Nerissa. Help. Good.
There we
Looking
go.
healthy. Just past 70K. Damage is looking very nice. Here's the first focus strike. Was back. You see Magda's fallen behind a bit, but at least she'll be ready to go, you know, before the Pact of Silence. That's what really matters. Here's the decay. So normally we'd be going with Magda like right about now. We can't. Get a cleanse. This is where the double cleanser is pretty nice if you're running this strategy. Find this out perfect. We don't want to blow our run right into Magda as well. There's Carnelian. Now boom.
There we go.
Wait a second. Boom. Definitely wait for that Valara. I also, on this run, we redid it so that we had the Valara at the proper moment. Let's go with Ezareth before I miss it. Get the 2 hits. We should be clear on that. There's 1.
We should
2.
be close to 80K
Perfect.
with this Pact of Silence.
Yeah, this looks good right now. Yeah, already over 76. Yeah, if we can get to like, I'm hoping we can get to like 83, 84, 85. That'd be very, very good. And keep in mind, guys, this is something else you need to think about. This isn't the meta team for my account right now either. So if we can get like 84K, let's say, right, Mango?
Oh yeah.
Once we do all the awakenings, once we actually swap in Rosalia, once we take out some of these healers we don't need anymore, then we're looking at 90K plus for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I think we will be really close to 100K just by making those small changes, but it would be a 3 hours long video.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple videos instead. And if you guys want, maybe we can convince Mango to come back on. But don't worry. Let's get into it. Let's see. Got to switch Ezareth back. Uh-oh. Here we go. Get Nerissa off. Nerissa always has that delay, which is very annoying. See if she built it up. You have enough stacks to cleanse for us. Keep hitting it. Come on, Nerissa.
Whenever she wants.
There we go. There's the atrophy. Okay, cool. Ezareth is alive. We love seeing him living. That's great. We just passed 80K and we still got 45 seconds left. Remember, my top score ever was about 80K, 80.5K. So we're just passing that now. So we've already seen a great improvement. Here's the next decay. Magda's not ready, but it's all right. Get that going. I think you'll agree with this. Let's put Magda on the auto ult with everyone else now, right? Because she's already out of sync.
Perfect.
Her timing doesn't matter anymore. All right, let's make sure we nail this Carnelian. We go 81. Perfect. Boom.
There we go. Now Magda is still in sync with everyone else, so we can just use her ultimate, which is
82.
perfect.
Come on, let's really squeeze some out.
And now we can just keep Ezareth in the damage mode. We don't need to change him back.
Now we're just trying to pump it up. And there's the 84. Like we said, can we get 85? That'd be so sweet. There's 85. I mean, that's a pretty, it might not feel like it, right? But that's a pretty major difference. 86. So we're up over 6K from my previous best. That's pretty substantial. 87. It just keeps going, huh, Mango? Not too shabby. There we go. 87.3 with this squad.
Yeah.
And all we really did, yeah, you had some nice placement tips. Yeah, the Ingrid thing was cool, but there's only so much damage to go around. The only thing we really did, dial in the timings a bit and then the gear.
Yeah, and honestly, the good thing is, as we mentioned before, right now you can just move your gear around and check whether one piece will actually improve the score or make it worse, which is really, really good and helpful to just test different builds and different pieces.
Yeah, no, that auto tip is huge. And you can see, normally I'm used to Ingrid coming in like 4th place. She is 1st place by a mile. She's like the Guan Yu of the Magic DPS right now, which makes sense because she's the queen of the game. That corner strat, is that the mango strat, should we call it?
No, in fact, if I remember correctly, first guy I saw using it was Chaddy, but I think a lot of people have used it before, but
Sure.
I just didn't figure it out at first.
Well, here in this video, it's your strat. But shout out to Chatty, shout out to the Chinese community who did a lot of the gear testing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mango. We've been hanging out together for like an hour and a half now. These videos take a long amount of time to put together, so I really appreciate it. And this is really fun. And I got to tell you, I'm 100% sure we'll get 100K. 100% sure.
You have so much room to improve with Rosalia, with so many units. You will get 100K.
Yeah,
or even
I mean,
105. We will see.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned, guys. And for Spellbane, I'll do that off camera this week. But I don't know. I mean, can we put up 73K? I don't know. I can definitely put up 63K. So we'll be within 10K already.
Yeah.
Of the 160.
Yeah, for sure.
Next week will be the 160 week. Guys, remember to check out Mango. This is one of the must-follow channels in All Watch Realms. Honestly, you're big enough at this point that I don't even think there's many people who aren't going to know who you are. But if you don't, definitely check it out. Any final thing you want to say?
No, I'm really grateful to be here once again, and I hope we can keep doing this from time to time. It's really fun just doing videos with other guys.
Absolutely. One of the best parts of the job is collabing and getting to meet everybody. So make sure to subscribe, guys. 30 subs away. You know what to do. Hit that button. Thank you for watching. Share it with your mother. I've been Mango. I've been Mango. I've been Fastidious. That's been Mango. And we'll see you real soon.
Fastidious.